My phone vibrated on the marble counter. Once, then again. I didn't look at it. I was rinsing a wine glass, watching water bead and slip like it had somewhere better to be. The Alps stared back through the glass wall, white, indifferent, eternal. Switzerland had that effect. It made noise feel unnecessary. The vibration returned. Longer this time. Insistent. I already knew who it was. 71 missed calls don't happen by accident. They happen when greed realizes it's been starving at the wrong table. I dried my hands slowly. Precision mattered. I picked up the phone and read the last message preview without opening it. Can we talk, please? Please. A word people remember only when doors are closed. I turned the phone face down. The drive-in flickered across my mind without asking. The night everything fractured. The smell of cheap popcorn. Her laugh, too bright for the darkness. The way she rested her hand on her stomach, like it was a secret only she and the stars understood. She had been disowned by then. Alone, carrying my only child. Tragedy didn't knock. It took. I exhaled. The wine glass was spotless. So was the memory. That scared me more than the calls. I poured myself a drink I didn't need and waited for the past to catch up. People assume betrayal. Arrives loudly. Shouting. Tears. Evidence spilled like blood. They're wrong. It arrives quietly, like a sentence that doesn't fit. After she died, the world treated me like a widower with no proof, no funeral photos, no condolences that stuck. Her family erased her name like a typo. Said the baby wasn't mine. Said I'd imagined the whole thing. Grief makes you doubt your own fingerprints. Years later, Thanksgiving arrived with a voice I recognized before I understood it. If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes. My daughter-in-law shouted over the phone. The audacity sat there. Steaming, daughter-in-law, a title that had been stolen and reassigned. While I was busy surviving, I smiled into the silence and replied, "Enjoy." That should have been the end, but the universe has a cruel sense of timing. Photos surfaced, not by accident. A friend posted them, my villa. The lake glassy as a held breath. The quiet wealth that comes from not wasting energy on small people. The calls started an hour later. 71. What they didn't know was that I had already begun asking questions, quiet ones, the kind that don't echo. Her sister's voice had been the trigger. Too familiar, too practiced. The way she said wash the dishes carried, a history of watching others clean up her messes. Something didn't add up. It never does at first. I learned to observe without flinching. It was a skill grief taught me well. I pulled records, not illegally, just patiently. Hospital timestamps, old phone logs. A donation made in my name the week after the accident. Anonymous but clumsy. I watched her sister's social media like a weather pattern. The smiles arrived in clusters. The captions were defensive, over-explained. I requested a DNA test under a pretense so dull it would bore suspicion to sleep. Corporate inheritance review. Paperwork. Numbers. Externally, I was polite, cordial. The kind of man people underestimate, because he doesn't announce himself. Inside, the storm refined itself. Every detail pointed to a single truth I wasn't ready to name. Not because it scared me, because once named, it would demand action. I replayed the drive-in night. Her fear when a car pulled too close. Her sister's car. The headlights that lingered. The accident report had been thin. Conveniently thin. I didn't confront anyone. Confrontation is what people do when they want noise. I wanted silence. The kind that follows certainty. When the envelope arrived, cream paper, embossed seal, I didn't open it right away. I made coffee. I sat down. I aligned the edges. Control is a habit. The results were simple, brutal in their clarity. She had been pregnant. The child was mine. And the accident wasn't a payment, a phone call, a rerouted ambulance, not murder, something colder. Neglect dressed as chance. I invited her sister to the villa. Switzerland disarms people. They relax, they talk. She cried before I said anything. That told me more than words could. I slid the report across the table. Not dramatically, just enough for her to see her reflection in the paper. "It wasn't supposed to happen," she whispered. I nodded. Composure is contagious. She talked of fear, of inheritance, of how love becomes inconvenient when money is nearby. I listened like a man watching snowfall, detached, counting flakes. When she finished, I thanked her for coming. That broke her. Revenge doesn't require rage. It requires timing. I forwarded the evidence, not to the police, to the family trust, to the board, to every person who had erased her sister's name and replaced it with convenience. I declined Thanksgiving, publicly, kindly. The calls returned. Louder now, desperate. I answered one. "Please," she said. "We can fix this." I looked out at the mountains, unmoved. "No," I said. "You can live with it." Then I cut the line. Assets froze. Titles vanished. Invitations stopped arriving. Silence wrapped around them the way it once wrapped around me. Fair. I visit the drive-in sometimes. It's abandoned now. The screen torn. The ground cracked. History has a way of decaying in plain sight. I sit in the car and remember the way she laughed. Not the ending. Never the ending. Vindication isn't joy. It's weightlifting. The moment you realize you've been carrying something that was never yours to bear. I don't feel whole. I feel precise. The phone hasn't vibrated in weeks. And for the first time since that night, the silence answers back.